Welcome. Good morning, and welcome to the live in-person and live Zoom worship service for the Universalist Unitarian Church of Riverside. Our opening hymn now is hymn number 101, Abide With Me, from the Gray Hymnal. Please feel free to sing along and as the Spirit moves you, and please stand now in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 101, Abide With Me. Whoa.
Abide with me, fast falls the evening tide. The darkness deepens, still with me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, so abide with me. Swift to its close ends at life's little day, as joys grow dim, its glories pass away. Change and decay all around I see. Oh, thou who changes not, abide with me. I fear no foe with thee at hand to bless. Ills have no weight and tears no bitterness. Where is death's sting? Where brave thy victory? I triumph still if thou abide with me.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us here in person and for those joining by Zoom remotely, where we continue to live stream our services and also post them to our YouTube channel for the virtual attendees. I'm Alec Peck, Chair of the Worship Committee, and I'll also be your worship associate for today. Other members of the Worship Committee who make this service possible include Adam Wedeking, who monitors our visual and online connections, and Kate Lewicki at the back, who's in charge of the sound system. We welcome you to join us this morning with an open mind and an open heart, and with muted electronic devices, please. Welcome to this morning, this day, and this opportunity to be together. We invite you to leave your worries and your defenses at the door and trust that what happens in worship is inspiring and powerful. Together, we affirm that this day and our being together can make us braver, more compassionate, and wiser as we begin a new day and a new week. But before we begin the service, there are a few announcements we'd like to share. We'll also mention a few websites, email addresses, and phone numbers, which will all be left up at the end of the service on a slide, so that way you don't need to write it down quickly, and all of this information is also on the website. The sharing of our joys and concerns is one of the important rituals in our community, an opportunity to share milestones, losses, achievements, and experiences with one another. On the first Sunday of each month, we can hear from those in the sanctuary and read any contributions that we've received throughout the month. At the front of the pulpit here, we have a book where you can write your joys and concerns whenever you're here in the sanctuary. And for those at home, or any time of the month, you can send your joyous concerns to the email address uuchurchofriverside@gmail.com. Our next joys and concerns will be the first Sunday of August, August 4th. We are sad to announce that our dear friends Lee and Linda Greer and family will be moving to Montana in August. Please join us for a potluck pool party at Pat Wonder's house, Saturday, July 27th, starting at around 2 p.m., to send them off with our love and our best wishes. Sign-up sheet will be available at the entrance table for those who would like to bring something to share, and we hope to see you there. The Social and Environmental Justice Committee is meeting today in the church annex beginning at 11:30 a.m. Oh, 10:30, excuse me. Yes, of course, here in the summertime, we're not going to wait that long. 10:30 a.m. And you can find the Zoom link and more information on the website under Social and Environmental Justice. Adam, do you have an announcement? Great. So I'll now invite up Adam Wedeking, who is the chair of the Social and Environmental Justice Committee, to talk about their current project.
In 2014, our Social Justice Committee teamed up with some local organizations to help pass Proposition 47, which recategorized some nonviolent offenses as felonies as misdemeanors. Over the last 10 years, Prop 47 has been proven to reduce recidivism and help fund important alternatives to incarceration like housing and mental health services. But a new ballot initiative plans on undoing all the progress that's been made, ending mass incarceration over the last decade. Proposition 36 is being called by its supporters as the Homelessness, Drug Addiction, and Theft Reduction Act, or really just the Homelessness Act is what they're calling it, even though there's nothing in it that addresses homelessness at all. On Tuesday, July 23rd, our partners at Starting Over Inc., folks that we teamed up with back in 2014 to help pass Prop 47, are hosting a virtual town hall to discuss the importance of saving Prop 47. If you can, please attend and learn what we can do to stop this really deceptive proposition. It's really concerning because in our community, homelessness is a big concern. And so labeling something the Homelessness Act that has nothing to do with housing insecurity is really deceptive and frightening. So if you can go to bit.ly/save-prop-47 to sign up for this event. If you're on the Social Environmental Justice Committee email, you get that. You've already got this flyer emailed to you. If you need help signing up, come see me and I can help you sign up. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Adam. And thank you to everyone who participates with the Social and Environmental Justice Committee. Welcome also to all of our visitors today and to any old friends who are back for the first time in a while. We'd love to get a chance to chat with you during our coffee hour, which is housed after the service. If you're comfortable doing so, please give us a wave so that we can recognize you later as someone who's new to the church. And if you're on Zoom, you can use the Zoom wave gesture or just wave at your camera. We'd love to get a chance to chat with you out in the parish hall, where you can also find our visitors book. Please leave your name before you leave so that we know you were here, and you can also leave your contact information if you'd like to get updates about church events. There will also be a chance for a short discussion after the service to share your reflections with us. For those online, the best way to be added to the mailing list is to email the church office at admin@uuchurchofriverside.org. And now I invite you to sit back, take a slow and deep breath as we move into our worship hour. And you are welcome to read with me the mission statement of our church. Our mission is to foster a diverse religious community that celebrates life, affirms the individual, encourages spiritual growth and open thought, and works to advance social justice and environmental sustainability. Our speaker today is UUCR member Bill Casey. Bill tries to draw from a number of theistic and philosophical points of view, and while this does not always produce an orderly methodology, he takes comfort in the patchwork utility that it tends to provide. Bill notes with amusement, if only brevity were included. Originally from Colorado, Bill lives a short distance from UUCR, and he has been a member of UUCR for some years now and has been quite active in the choir and the worship committee. His sermon today is the Diagnostics of Pain. How do we deal with spiritual pain and work to better ourselves? The answer, we can transform our personal pain into large-scale social action and social justice. And when we pick those fights for to fight for causes that we care about personally, we can better ourselves and our community. We have two lightings of sacred flame. The first is a remembrance candle for the indigenous peoples who continue to cry out for justice and self-determination. We remember that underneath us is the unceded land of several indigenous peoples, the Cahuilla, the Luiseño, and the Cupeño. We light this sacred flame in their remembrance and in recognition of their struggle for freedom and dignity. Our second sacred flame is our own chalice, the symbol of our faith. We are blessed with this space and opportunity to strive to live out our common principles, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to be a part of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Let these thoughts carry us forth as we journey and worship together. Today's chalice lighting is The Sacred Power of Justice by Jamie Yandel. We light this flame to ignite the sacred power of justice. We light this flame so that it may be a beacon of hope. In moments of uncertainty, fear, anxiety, and the unknown, we light this flame and are emboldened by its blaze. Knowing our strength as a prophetic and powerful people is rooted in the diverse ways we answer the call of love. Our hymn now is hymn number 123 from the Gray hymnal, Spirit of Life. Please feel free once again to sing with us as the Spirit moves you, and stand now in body or spirit. Join us in singing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life.
Of compassion.
This portion of our service is for supporting our beloved and historical church. This can be accomplished in several ways. In addition to the weekly collection, you can send your checks to the church address shown here behind me, or you can contribute by PayPal using the QR code also shown here, as well as on the website and in the church newsletter. The Stater Brothers Market as well gives our church a rebate on Stater's grocery cards, which we'll have in the church each Sunday. Amazon cards of a similar nature are also available. You get the full value on the card, but the church also gets a percentage for free. Please see Dinah Rowe there at the back or Robert Braun in the church office if you are interested in purchasing the gift cards. Please donate as the Spirit moves you and by whatever method works best for you. Thank you for your time and your generosity. And for those that give their time and their talent, thank you for your generous care and attention. And to all of those of you who have joined us today, thank you for the gift of your presence. We'll also have a tote bag around that's passed around to collect food and hygiene products, which are items for those who are in need here in the Riverside community. Will our ushers now please come forward to help receive the collection? And our hymn now is hymn number 402, From You I Receive, from the Gray Hymnal. Please feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you, and feel free to stand in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 402, From You I Receive.
From you I receive, to you I
Our meditation today is a shared reading by David Breeden. Please join me in reading the italicized lines projected here on the slide. We cry out in grief at the suffering we see. People, all living things, the planet, preventable suffering, yet it continues on and on. When we feel overwhelmed, we gather to find a path, to find new ways forward. When we feel overwhelmed, we know that to our right and to our left are the faces of caring faces of companionship. Joining together, we find our refuge, we find our strength, we find our wisdom, we find our way forward. Let us now pause for a moment of silence and reflection. And now, I would like to introduce Bill Casey, who is going to be speaking to us on the diagnostics of pain. Bill?
Once again, I'm before you and happy to be here, but also eek, because this is not an easy thing to tackle. If I wrote this thing 3 more times, it'd still be rough in a way. Because first of all, I guess I have to say that when you're diagnosing pain, you can do the, wow, I just stubbed my toe. There's the, wow, I just stubbed my toe on the same table. Maybe I better move the dang table. Then there's, wow, I'm going to start the society to move small, low, hard tables out of the way of a night walking person. That last one is where we diagnose the pain today. Small pain, medium and large, stretch it across billions of people. My puny little light is not going to tackle those. But you get enough of us candle flames together and something amazing can happen. Number one, you're going to get yelled at by Riverside Fire Department. But 2, you're going to get a lot more light. And by sharing each other's glow, you can go a lot further because you're not alone anymore. You're tackling little bits of pain. So if I'm going to hurt, and this time admit that it hurts, it really hurts, and I want it to stop hurting, I'm going to try and take my pain off of the small stage of life. And first of all, being the dramatic bleep that I am, make a big hairy deal of it. Be as poetic and as loud as I can. And underline the drama of it, especially if that pain hurts many of us. And underline, slightly off center is a way of life. All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to try to transform the pain that I'm feeling in my moment into a solution for that pain that works on the bigger stage of life. I'm going to try and solve my private pain and turn it into medicine to solve problems on the bigger stage. And sometimes remember that diagnosing pain can summon a bit more. Save a lake, weep at a waterway. In order to do all this diagnosing, I'm going to have to diagnose that pain, get a little rational with it, solve it, and export the cure that I find out onto the bigger stage, our stage, so that someone, maybe one of us, can do the greatest good for the greatest number. Welcome to the Diagnostics of Pain. Maybe while studying the diagnostics of pain, we can reach out and provide some help to the larger community as we work on our own private pain. What are some of the questions we should ask ourselves? And the first buckets that of questions that I got hit with looked a bit like this. What has hit us badly and often in the past? Not just personally, but in a way that hits groups of us. That pain is going to shape our responses. Do you see corporations as being more fearsome than politicians? This fear that you have is going to shape your responses with who you resist hardest, first, and with most of your resources. What was in your lives that pain struck the hardest? Corporate grift, political grift, street gangs? These all shape us differently. Which hit us hardest and most recently? How did we prioritize our pain? What did we decide to go after first in terms of the cure, and why? An example of this would be finding ourselves engaged in elections more than we'd like in order to pursue other concerns, such as maybe environmental issues. The clean river is the end goal. Dealing with the politics is the tedious thing that you have to do in order to get things lined up to clean that river. Do we do this pragmatically, technically, methodically, or do we lead with our hearts? We have to ask what surprise thing in your life has latched onto you and your pain. What pain that you think is curable in the world at large? That's a good sized batch of questions. Let's try to get a few of them during the sermon. Define them a little bit, define them more tightly, or maybe they just name common sources of pain. As to what bit us last and hardest, we have Democratic, Republican rifts with chronic dysfunctions attached to both parties. We have the urban-rural divide and the cultural rifts. Urban violence, public school dysfunction versus private school dysfunction and dysfunctioning as a theocracy nest. We have oligarchs quietly draining the workers so that they can't do anything, or. We have a lot of stuff to go after, and it got discouraging fast, didn't it? I thought that by going public sourcing it, things were going to get easier. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. It didn't work out like that. We named our pain. We tried to prioritize it and couldn't even keep attacking the source of our own pain without being dragged into something that we didn't even cover our main concern, our main pain, our main driving forces within us. But I'm still going to hold that if you can take a step sideways on your pain sometimes, just a step sideways, and it can give you some amazing forward progress. You take your old pain, see if you can repurpose it into your current project so that you can attack either the new problem or the old problem a little bit more effectively. I'm not a professional person. I've been daunted by a lot of the people when I come in here and I'm going, my God, college degrees all around me, and I'm not even sure I've got both knuckles off the ground at the same time. It's daunted me before this. Many people in this congregation are professional people. One of the best examples I know of using old pain to help in current problems is our friend Tinka. Tinka's had a life with a lot of public service in it, and I'm not even sure all of it was planned. Tinka had multiple disabilities challenging her family, but she didn't immediately repurpose it. She'd started a teaching job, and she was willing to tackle special education. And she noticed that her kids were having trouble communicating and were pretty lonely. Tinka shows the initiative and the innovation to learn American Sign Language. She sang to us in ASL already this morning. And now that she's got ASL, teaches ASL to her kids, the special ed kids have something to help them communicate. And some were verbally challenged and just couldn't use words properly. And she had something to help build an esprit de corps. Hey, we don't know how to talk this ASL stuff. And it made their work a little more comprehensible. They could talk about when and what was hurting them. It was amazing. The kids bonded more with each other, and she helped their lives immensely. She took one step sideways, which helped her to take about 6 giant steps forward. The Buddha speaks of turning poison into medicine. This is an immensely good example of that. Our pain often has deep roots to it. People are members of committees now because of something horrible that they saw 40 years ago. Our pain can have disjointed roots where we figure out what the hell hurt us and hurt us so badly. Sometimes we catch that pain and we try to deal with it in order. We prioritize them. If my pain is environmental damage and yours is dirty politics, I'm probably going to prioritize your pain as a little lower than mine or just not a priority. It's not that it isn't there. It's not that it isn't dreadful. It's just ordered differently on my calendar, my to-do list than yours. In a big congregation or political action group, this can help us as we cross pollinate with each other. It can help us be better activists. It can help us do our job better. We might be learning those little things from a different committee can help us to where our original goals are met more effectively. More people power, more resources. We're going to prioritize, but we're going to find that our priorities still link down the line. You can still find yourself backing a nature preserve and at the same time doing things to make sure that the politicians cannot touch it. It's not that you aren't looking at bad politics affecting your priorities of the environment. But if you ever feel like you've deserted a priority, take the time to reestablish the original passion. If you're an environmentalist who's been stuck going political and fighting dirty politics, take a few weeks off. Visit a few aquariums, take a mountain trip, and remember your roots. Remember as well that you're not just responding to past stimuli. You're living here and now, in this moment. You might not have had deafness in your family, but you meet some hearing impaired folks. Now you're a staunch defender of them being able to have the services that help them to learn and be as social as they possibly can. You may be a lefty who's never been in service, but you might find yourself really, really involved in the Wounded Warrior Project, even if you don't back military causes in general. Growing into a larger world. Sounds familiar. Loving our fellow man despite our differences, despite disadvantages. Oh yeah, that thing. Welcome to the 7 principles. We're reminded to look and work and carry our work into progressively larger groups as soon as we can handle that initial shot of pain. We're to take our small, intimate pain, clean the wounds, bandage them, and help our friends not get hurt as we did, and then grow the group. If there's a theological hole in things, catch it in time. For example, a Christian background might create a north-south sort of a sense of activism and not a sense of compromise. Buddhism might be a little bit slow to deal with its problems because of the wheel of rebirth. But it can be done. We grow the group afterwards. Solutions, cures, hymns of triumph, right? Then we run into the sticky cacophony of democracy. Slow, momentum draining, spiky, complicated, and seemingly broken. What a cheat, what a ripoff. But folks, we are socially connected. We are socially connected, and when we're not, we hurt so much worse. There are two phrases ringing in my head right now. I'm not sure, but it might even be from the same poem. One phrase is, there is no pain like unto my pain. I weep alone. The other, maybe a different verse of the same poem. Ask not for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee, for no man is an island. The idea for this sermon was to try diagnosing some of our pain, look at where it comes from, see if we can make our pain, our need, into a successful tool for growth. We're going to hurt anyway. We might as well make it into a useful tool. Well, we're working on it. Our principles tell us that we can grow from better people into a better bunch of people, a nation, a world, even if we have to repeat things a few times. It also drags me right into the fifth and sixth part of our principles, which are the part that usually kick my tail badly. Because doing things in a group, getting people to agree, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. Oh, and by the way, folks, when it comes to problem solving, did I mention that there are those who disagree with you? And they may well number in the tens of millions, make that, they do number in the tens of millions. That budgeting is a mess, and many people find corruption to be a lot of fun. You don't have to be perfect. As Lee Greer has said in a couple of his pieces, the universe arcs towards community and handshake deals. It arcs very slowly, I might add, but it does seem to arc in that direction. In biology, in justice, in how we treat each other. We can grow from pain into empathy. Now, sometimes that sounds like a bad idea because going back to that stub toe that I started the story out with, I don't like to think of a communal stub toe. That's not what I woke up this morning doing. But we can slow that down. We can share, by sharing our reactions, our pain, we have empathy. Empathy can help reduce the pain. And empathy is eventually a teachable skill. And while I have my limitations, more than I want to admit, a lot of limitations, I am reminded that I am a polyp. I am not the whole darn barrier reef. I am an updraft, not the whole trade wind, not the whole tempest. I am one. I am many. I am incomplete. I hurt. So do you. But in our pain, we are healed a bit, and we find more folks along the way, more cures, different ways to wrap our stub toe, better ways to avoid the things that hurt us. We are one. We are many, incomplete, hurting, healed, and we are together. We live, love, learn, and grow. Blessed be, namaste, shalom, and amen.
And now our closing hymn is number 116, I'm on my way, from the gray hymnal. Please feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you and stand in body or spirit to join us in singing hymn number 116, I'm on my way.
I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way, great God. I'm on my way. I asked my sister, come and go with me. And I asked my brother, come and go with me. Yeah, I asked my sister, come and go with me. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. If they say no, I'll go anyhow. If they say no, I'll go anyhow. If they say no, I'll go anyhow. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. I'm on my way, and I won't turn back. I'm on my way, and I won't turn back. I'm on my way, and I won't turn back. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way.
Go in hope, for the arc of the universe is long, and we can bend it towards justice. Go in courage, for together we have the strength to comfort injustice in our daily lives and the larger world. Go in love, because a holy and generous love is both the reason and the means by which we transform our lives. Namaste, amen, and blessed be. Thank you, Bill, for sharing your valuable time and your insights with us this morning. We do sincerely appreciate you and look forward to seeing you next week. We will have 10 to 15 minutes for a discussion on and questions with Bill following the service for those who want to share their thoughts and observations on today's topic or have a chance to speak with Bill. Please be aware that this will be included on the video that's being posted. For the rest of you, though, you are welcome now to adjourn into the parish hall or to retreat from the hot summer sun. But for those who would like to stay, is there anyone who would like to come up and share their thoughts with us today? Or anyone online who would like to share anything with us? Grace.
For that sermon today? Hello? Okay. I just like to point out that pain at least physical pain, is a way the body shows that something is wrong. And I think that can also apply to social or mental or emotional pain. It points the way to show that there's a problem. And if there's a problem, then there might be a solution. And that probably progresses the healing of the pain.
Here you go. Oh, all right, Bill. Bill, did you want to respond to Grace?
Yes, thank you, Bill. And the thing that I took out of this the most, which I learned in Al-Anon, but it's wonderful to be reminded again. And that is when we are in pain, it's good just to kind of be there, be in that pain, feel it, acknowledge it. But it's not, it winds up putting us in a dysfunctional situation if we just continue to sit there, kind of wallowing in our pain. And so taking action is the way out of the pain. And even if, and this is what I've learned from my life, even if the thing that has been causing me pain doesn't change, even if my action doesn't resolve whatever the situation was that caused the pain, I have a sense of empowerment. I have a sense of feeling of worth because I took some action. And again, what I learned in 12-step programs is that I take the action and I can't think of the word I want to use, the results. The results are not up to me. I may do absolutely everything, put my whole heart and soul into it, and I don't get the results that I wanted. So for me, it's that I do the footwork, I take the action, and the results are not up to me. I can't beat myself up when the outcome that I wanted didn't occur. It's not necessarily because I didn't try hard enough. And that's always very important for me to remember that and that while I'm taking the action, my focus is not on the pain, that the pain starts to dissipate. And often I see other people out there and their pain, and being of service is a great way also of reducing my pain.
She covered something right there that just yesterday morning, I was woken up not by my alarm, but by the sound of a car crash outside of my apartment on Lime Street. Well, there wasn't, one person went to hospital. I don't know how bad. The other person, of course, very upset. And I was able to say something as he was walking away. I said, "Hey, buddy, look at it this way. The lousiest thing that can happen to you today has probably already happened. So now it's upwards from here." The thing I got out of there is that when we have our pain, there's this moment where you can say, the pain is not the normal. The pain is an abnormality, which we're going to work on for one reason or another and in one direction. You might come at it from politics. You might come at it from hating oligarchs. You might do it environmentally. You might just do it because some other reason. You might just happen to like that particular field full of prairie dogs, and you're going to push harder for wildlife in general. But the thing is you can look at that pain, and when you look at it, the pain as being normative, it's like trying to breed Persian cats, white Persian cats. You feel like it's an abnormality and the universe is going to eat you and all of your works. But when you look at the pain and the dysfunction as the wrong of the universe, then all of a sudden, the amount of help that does at that point is huge and should not be underestimated. We're walking towards the universe the way it should be. The rest of the world is just a little slow to catch up with us. Ralston.
You talk to me. You talk to us today. Registered the role of pain in our society through the medical system is diminished to the extent that the American Cancer Society can come out and say that over 50% of cancer is caused by dietary causes. But you can't say we need to adjust our diet. I haven't checked to see if that's universally clear. But instead, our society puts a lot of pressure on the doctors to make a lot of money, which rules out dietary cures. Because if you lead with a dietary cure, you are opening yourself to loss of a patient, to somebody that will go straight to the juicy cures that are ineffective but make them a lot of money. So our society systematically puts the cure providers into the predicament of picking a cure for their pain or picking a cure for their patient's pain.
Thank you, Bill, for giving us this sermon. I did have a question for you.
What?
I do have a question for you
All right.
to answer for us. So this whole process that you're describing for us, have you experienced this yourself? Can you tell us about if it's not too personal for you, what issues have you faced where you've experienced this?
Frequently environmental issues. When I was young, I was watching National Geographic. I was watching Jacques Cousteau. I was watching, I lived in Colorado, so we had a lot of natural beauty out there. And I remember one time going out by where the bike paths were, where there was a good-sized little prairie dog town. And I'd walked over, and because somebody was supposedly building, they killed all the prairie dogs with poison. Moments like, because they thought they were going to be building soon and didn't think they could, they didn't feel like digging them out and moving them or doing slow trapping. So that one just struck straight at the heart. The time when I found somebody who'd taken a bunch of crawdads and they were in nasty water that was slowly killing them from oxygen loss, and I was able to get them back to clean water in a good-sized lake to where they could live properly. That's the one that felt better because the prairie dog thing was pain coming out of the left field and ambushing me and knocking me down. God, how I cried that day. But the little thing with the crawdads, even though there were fewer of them, I was able to do something. So that helped produce okay, if I can do this, and then, all of a sudden you start saying, hey, you can always write a letter in to go to help a particular species out. I began to realize that there might be the message of you can fix this. It was in some ways contesting with the classic Christian, you live in a broken world and human decisions only make it more broken. God's an absentee landlord and humans are moron tenants. It was a lousy combo, and that was a knockdown. But the getting that feeling to where you can make a personal difference, like what you went through, that I don't know that you realized it was going to be as good as it was when you did it, Tinka, but it seems to have done a few thousand people an amazing amount of good. But yeah, with me, I'd say it was the environmental issue. And I would get, by the way, I would get so mad because I'd be stuck over here dealing with some political moron who can't be bothered to clean something up, even though it doesn't hurt his side at all, but he can't be seen as being soft on environmentalism. So he plays hardball and trying to make me look like me or people like me to look like a tree hugging fool. So that's, I guess, part of the thing. The environment got there because, as ZZ Top once said, oxygen is not a politically negotiable issue. Yeah, and I will say that in all my travels, I've never seen a cabinet marked "Spare Planet Earth in case of emergency, break glass." We seem to be kind of holding on to this one by a hair, and probably be better if we held on to it with the oxygen. Anyone else? Well, hi, Rob.
I guess I look for simple solutions for myself. So on the one hand, if it's like something politically painful, ask myself, what do I want to do? Because one thing about the mind, it loves to be lazy. So you can be in turmoil endlessly and have no effect, or you can decide, what am I willing to do? How am I going to put myself out? So that's how you deal with I guess, pain of issues. Now, as far as problems with your self-functioning, of course, we should all know enough to avoid things such as alcohol or the other drugs. You could do what I've done twice in my life when I've been mentally really deranged. First time I went to my baby doctor who gave me Norpamin, worked very well. Second time, I was going to go and see a psychiatrist, but I luckily figured out what I needed to do in my head to function. But otherwise, if I were to have such problems again, I would immediately consult the medical community. They do have very powerful tools that will help you. Thank you.
Good point. That may be it.
Well, Adam, anyone online just to check? In that case, thank you all for your extra time. We wrapped up nice and early to get out of the summer heat. So thank you again for joining us for the Q&A. So now let us get a little bit of coffee and snacks. Thank you.